He locked me outside of his house because I told him I hate it when he drinks. I love him, but he turns into an annoying loser whenever he drinks, and he does that a lot. So I confronted him about it, and he left me outside at 4 a.m. because he felt disrespected, and now I don't know if he loves alcohol more than me. So I am 22F and my boyfriend is 28M. We have dated for around a year and a half. He is an extremely sweet, caring, calm, and gentle guy. He never put himself first. He never wants anything for himself, and he is always taking care of the people that he loves. Even though I asked him repeatedly that he needs to let me do acts of service for him, he just cheerfully says, "I have all the things I need." He is very funny and witty. Every crowd he's the main guy because he's the best looking inside and out. I love my boyfriend and I choose him every time. But I only have one minor issue with him. He becomes a whole other person when he drinks. He loses all of this and becomes a big f***ing loser, self-centered asshole. And the problem is, I think he can't cut down on drinking. He says he's been on and off for years now, and he still drinks heavily for like 5 nights a week. Worst type of it is when I'm not drunk and he just starts going on and on and on and on about how he's the SHT. He the main guy, head-turning smart guy. He can just talk for hours about how everything he does is golden and nobody dares question him at work and outside. He has like 1,000 friends, but he only hangs out with this one group of coworkers, and they seem to be a bunch of alcoholic children. They like to go out to bars, become incoherent and creepy, and act like the cool table of 9th graders where everyone thinks they're main characters. There's infinite amount of drama within this coworker group. The whole thing about who's on whose side, who said what to whom, why did who say how to the what now? It's so pathetic. They just go on and on and on about office politics, which is essentially just the young people of the office, which I didn't even meet. These kids made the good call, and they never hang out with this group, are having sex together, and these men that are pushing 30 somehow need to navigate that by talking about it at bars every night for 7 hours, otherwise world ends, I guess. It's so fake. They've all repeatedly forget each other over majorly, but when drinks are involved, they just like to act like brothers. He hates some people in his friend group, but whenever they get drunk, he starts telling everyone how great those people are, how they're his only real friends, and he even puts me down in front of the people he told me he hated before. I swear to God I am not exaggerating. They will have a few beers, give a hug to the guy they hated, say, "I know we had beef, man, but you're kinda my best guy now," and then have 2 more beers and forget about it, then hug again and have that conversation all over again, multiple times a night, every night. And in the morning they go back to hating each other. Last night he got so drunk that he jokingly flipped a table and we all got kicked out of the bar, and his friends started to call him an alcoholic fiend and put him down for it, and it embarrassed me so much. When I told him he needed to stop drinking and we gotta go home, I think it was bad timing 'cause he was drunk, but he yelled at me in the street and said, "You just have to figure it out on your own." Then on the way home, he kept opening beers, and at this rate I was scared if I would have to carry him on my back. At like 4 a.m., he just starts doing his usual drunk activity, which is jumping around and being unfunny and childish, falling to the ground repeatedly, so I have to pick him up, but then he makes himself so stiff that he's impossible to pick up, so I have to literally beg him to stop sleeping in the middle of a street. He just falls over every 2 steps, yells at the top of his lungs at random people, telling his entire life story to the uninterested cab driver, and worst of all, he will refuse to go home under every circumstance. He was literally lying down in the middle of a street telling me he's not coming home like a difficult toddler. And right as this was happening, he was going on and on and on about how I must have noticed that he was the main guy in this group tonight. Everyone looks at him when they have something to say. He's like the leader just because he's so incredibly unfazed by the drama. This made me feel fed up with him, because he was saying that for hours as he made us walk for the entire time because my phone was dead, and he thought it would be funny if we don't call an Uber and walk the sketchiest part of the city at that hour, and he fell over on purpose every 2 steps as well. My body is still sore from picking up his entire 200 pounds of body like 20 times. So I just turned around, told him almost everything I have said so far. I told him, "Listen man, I love you so much, but those people aren't your friends. Please stop drinking 'cause I'm done, I'm so done. You sound so stupid and full of yourself. This drama is clearly extremely important for you, so stop lying please." He looked at me for a few minutes and then started walking upright. No purposely falling over or anything. He didn't say much after that, but said he knows they're not his real friends. He just likes to drink, and if his girlfriend is boring, he either has to get a new drinking buddy or a new girlfriend. I apologized and said it was a bad time to confront him. Then when we got to his house, he closed the door in my face and said now I have to figure it out because I was rude. It was 4 a.m. and I live 3 hours away from him. I called a cab to my house and I haven't spoken to him since. Please tell me WTF this is, what do I do? Or if he's even capable of changing.